Let's get it!
Broadcasting to you from a little grass shack in the middle of the Pacific.
Live in the place to be.
Well, they're actually in the Bay Area.
Yes!
But they are the premier Pacifica show that shines a spotlight on positive Pacific Islanders.
You listening to the sound.
Role models coming brown every Thursday night at 6.
East to west, we getting hurt.
Brought to you by Pacifica by Design. It's the iconic Faika podcast with your hosts, Naki and Carl.
What's up, Naki?
Hey, happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. Season 9, episode 31 of the Faika podcast, and we're going to do it the other way around. We're bringing our guest in now, and then we're going to do the back half of the show with our community announcements, our check-ins, and talking about stuff that's current, like how the shutdown went. So I am going to bring our guest in to do this from the front end. We're going to hear from Ms. Faga Misa from Samoan Solutions. Good evening, Faga.
Hey.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, Naki, do you want to introduce our guest?
Yeah, Faga. Sorry about that. Let me just... Faga is the amazing co-founder for Samoan Solutions. They'll be celebrating their 15 years of their 5K Turkey Trot for charity. We'll talk about what charity they chose this year. She's also an educator and an entrepreneur. And I want to hear everything about. We know the story because we've been following her, but it's an amazing journey that I want to hear about. I want everyone for her to share. Welcome, Faga. Tell us a little bit more of what I missed out.
I think you pretty much covered it. Maybe the only thing that you missed was that I'm a mom to 4 wonderful kids. Yep. And I think that's it. Thanks for having me here tonight, guys.
Yeah, no problem. We're excited because it's been 15 years that Samoan Solutions has been putting on this Turkey Trot that we love. First, we were participants. And then, well, actually, first I just showed up and then was too late to walk. And then we joined with a group. And then we decided to start feeding people post Turkey Trot. But tell us why it started and everything about the event that's happening this Saturday.
Sure. So we had the pleasure of linking up with a group called Pacific Health Club 15 years ago. And we were friends with the trainer, David Ane, and we just talked about putting on a wellness event. And because all of us had gone to school in American Samoa, we had this like tradition of having Turkey Trot at our high school. So kind of started there, and for the Turkey Trot at the high school, they would get donations of like canned goods and different things. And if you won the Turkey Trot, then you'd win a turkey dinner. So fast forward, 20 or so years later, and here we are all in America. And so we thought it'd be cool to do like a pop-up run, get people out and active right before the holidays. And then it kind of morphed into like, well, while we're doing this, we can raise some funds for some local charities. So we started out with one that we knew that was in town called San Bruno Catholic Worker House. And they have a dining room there and a halfway house in San Bruno through the Catholic Church, St. Bruno's in San Bruno. And so we kind of had them as our beneficiary the first couple of years, and their executive director, Peter, would come every year and run in the Turkey Trot with his dog, and he would win like every year for the first couple of years. And then we kind of branched out to other charities that we knew that were doing good work with the houseless community and those who are unhoused and needy, especially around this time of the holidays. So then we've been choosing different beneficiaries. And this year we decided that we would dedicate the 15th annual Turkey Trot to the loving memory of our wonderful Nani Wilson. This is one of those events that she pretty much kind of came on and helped us to kind of build out the wellness fair, resource fair part of it. And then it was just like she was constantly recruiting people to come and participate and bringing all their friends and the family. So I feel like this was definitely one of her favorite events that we put on. I mean, she was there supporting us for every event, but I think this was one that she would really let people know, like, hey, you guys got to come out. And so, yeah, this year, it's been a tough year for everybody, and we really wanted to honor her in this way. So we talked to her family, and we let them know that we would like for them to choose the beneficiary, the charity of their choice that they want to support. And Danny Boy and Jazzy were like, the Luminai education gift is another thing that we really, we know our mom loved. So we want for the proceeds from the Turkey Trot to go to this year's Luminai Education Fund. So our trotting this year benefits Luminai Education Gift, which is 16 years strong, 46 scholars deep, and probably like more than 20 plus $1,000 awarded to all of these students over the last 16 years. So yeah, we're excited for this Saturday. And we hope folks will come out. You can pre-register, but you can also just show up the day of and jump right in. And yeah.
I love it. And rain, shine, or snow, they will be out there. I think one of the years I remember when the fires were going on, remember there's smoke and everybody was walking. People still showed up, walked because it is a good cause every year. But we all had our masks on, and there was runners and there was turkey trotters. But talk about the resources that will be there besides ours.
Yeah. So this year we're gonna have some folks tabling. So we'll have all my Usos will be out there with us. Essence of Mana, which is a program of Asian American Recovery Services, will be joining us. We'll also have Peninsula Community Rowing Club. So Coach Anthony will be out there with some information and maybe a demo. Who knows? We'll see. In the community, we also have the Behavioral Health and Recovery Services of San Mateo County that'll be there, providing information on all the programs that they have available. And we have a nonprofit called Kingdom Love LLC that'll be with us. And the PI Initiative, which is part of the Office of Diversity and Equity for San Mateo County, will be there. And the last one is Voices of Recovery of San Mateo County will also be there. And of course, we love you all, Pacifica by Design, for providing our crew, everybody that'll be there, with a nice meal. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thank you to everyone that's joining and all the resources. I'm excited to see. What has been one of your favorite things your favorite things about the Turkey Trot?
Ooh. Oh, I think my favorite thing is seeing all the kids. So like from the very first Turkey Trot, we had like parents bringing their kids in strollers, and then we had people bringing their kids in wagons and bringing them on their like tricycles. And then maybe about 4 years ago, the Run Club of Menlo Park showed up with like their whole team of kids who do like cross country running. So I think that's been really cool to see. And then also if this is the only event that we see these kids at every year, it's nice to kind of see them grow over the years. So that's also really cool. And Oh, I forgot to mention that we'll have some vendors there on Saturday too. You can get your holiday shopping started because Marina of Gardens Bath will be there, and so will Fat Boy Juice. So he'll have some of his famous otai. So yeah, I think like the kids and the community spirit.
So 15 years. 15 years is a long time, and I think Naki and I, just from a personal standpoint with PBD, seeing the adventures of far less than 15, things have changed in the lives of the people at Samoan Solutions. Um, Kids aren't there, kind of moving, have grown up and moving on. Has it been tough to continue to make the 15-year mark, or the 10-year mark? Because, as we've all found out, keeping the nonprofit game running and alive is challenging, right? So to be doing that over a 15-year span, um, and being able to persevere and make sure that you go, I think you no longer, like, people moved, right? That you don't live where you used to live when you started this 15 years ago. Talk about the how you've been able to keep things going over such a long period of time. Because I can just think of, like, kids that were 10 years difference now, right? They moved on and they're doing something different that helped, organize the event and everything. Talk about just a little bit about how you've been able to, that Samoan Solutions has been able to keep this alive.
Yeah, sure. I think that what we've been really good at over all these years is like being resourceful. So even before we had a physical space at Le Malta, Salmon Solutions was pretty much mobile. So wherever we were going to have a program, we would pop up over there, rent that space, and have a program. So I think that even though I live in Contra Costa County, Epi now lives in Alameda County, like our members are spread all over the place. Our board has, our board and our members have become so used to being resourceful and flexible. And not only that, I think some of the programming that we've had, especially over like the last 5, 6 years, maybe even decade, has built up our team of youth leaders. So like some of our summer programming, some of our Fangongo arts programming, we've met youth along the way, and we've been able to develop a lot of their skills and like kind of hand off some of the responsibilities of different events, or even just count on them to know that they'll show up and volunteer. Um, and then also, I think just being able to have people return, and businesses and organizations return as like sponsors and things like that. I think it all helps. And definitely after you've been doing it for a while, you develop a system, right? So then like this is the sponsorship season, this is the ticketing season, this promotion season, this is the rally the volunteer season. So and then you kind of just have an agenda where you know that you can show up that day and boom, everything just goes, start to finish. You kind of pretty much, even the vendors that we've had the same company come out as our vendor, Angie's Jumpers in South San Francisco. They've been there with a tent for us over the last like maybe 7 years or so. So yeah, I think just developing those relationships with vendors and building up our youth in order to like slowly give them some more responsibility, and even just meeting new youth, new families that come into the area. And then I think the power of social media too has really been helpful for us to just get the word out to people. Yeah.
So Naki and I were playing weatherman, and we were looking at the 10-day forecast. And for those of the people that are out there that think that, hey, if it's sprinkling or something, then maybe it'll get canceled, or maybe it won't happen. Talk a little bit about how rain or shine, that event goes forward full force no matter what. So people are thinking like, oh, if there's like clouds in the sky, maybe I shouldn't go because maybe it's not happening. Talk a little bit about how you guys have been able to persevere through the weather.
Yeah. So the weather luckily for us, it's been pretty mild, although the last 2 years it has been really windy. So we just kind of brace for whatever is going to be out there for us, especially since we're right near the water. It can get kind of wet out there, and rainy, but luckily, it just seems to be early enough in November these last couple of years that we still get a good amount of sunshine. But if it happens to rain this Saturday, we'll be prepared. We have a tent for all our folks to come into to register and check in, and a bunch of our resources will be underneath that big tent as well. And then, I think people they have a good time out there. They know that the 5K is a pretty short distance. It sounds like 5 miles, but it's actually only 3 miles. So you can kind of knock it out in about an hour. So and under, yeah.
I think that one of my favorite happenings in the event was pouring down rain, and the time clock wasn't going to be working. One of the community members still made it work, hooked it up to I think it was their car battery, to make sure that everything was continuing to work. And it was just a community member that was like, no, don't worry about it. It's all going to go down. And I think pretty sure it was bad weather at that point too. So it's just a testament to the community coming together on a day where we're all going to get together. Sometimes the bad weather, it just makes it more fun. I mean, I can remember, like Naki was saying, the crazy clouds, right? There was smoke and it was like bright orange over the horizon, and everybody's still walking. Or it's raining sideways and everybody's still walking. It has a community feel to it that I think that, being there 15 years, people that have been there for a long period of time over the years continue to show up and continue to fellowship. Is this at this point, is this kind of what you saw it becoming, or is this iteration of what it is today something that you didn't foresee?
I definitely, I don't think we saw it getting to this place of being like your one-stop shop on a Saturday to like support charity, have fun, be with community, like, get out there and move, do some shopping. Like, I definitely didn't see it as that, but I think it's been a good journey so far. And like things like what you're saying, where the community it just comes out and they're like, oh, we're going to help with this. Or like, even you guys are saying, we would like to offer food when it gets to the 10th year. And then, coming back every time, because that year when it was pouring down rain, like I was like, oh man, I don't know what's going to happen. And people might not come back the next year. But it was like the rain stopped as soon as everything was over. And here comes Pokemon Ray with his truck. He came over with like hot rice and poke, and it was so awesome. Like after, this freezing cold pouring rain day. But yeah, I think we have such a good time. And it's one of those things that you don't see happening often here in the Bay Area, or even in other places where you have Pacific Islanders out here, running and racing and walking together in this capacity. And even, having access to resources, whether it's health resources, behavioral health resources, or anything like that. I think it's really a special event. And I look forward to the day when I can hang up my timekeeping hat and just like, really just sit back and enjoy, what the rest of the community gets to experience, right? When we're not running stuff, when we're not volunteering, I think it's a really good, fun thing to do. Like in the first couple of years, we used to, like, after everything would wrap, Epi and I, we would go out and walk the 5K when everything was done. But then nowadays it's like, it's so busy that when it's done, we're ready to roll. We're like, bye, let's go. Let's go. So yeah, but definitely kind of exceeded our initial expectations of what we could do with this type of wellness event for sure.
It's so awesome to see the kids. Like there are groups, there's a running club, right, that comes every year. I think that this could be their third year of showing up. But it's exciting to see those kids there, but also our kids, like PI kids, showing up and participating. And I think it encourages other people. And even when we share it on social media, it's showing us doing a 5K. Like, look, we can do 5K too. We can run. We can, do all of that. It's a good example to show our community. Is that one of the reasons why you started this turkey trot, besides it happening in Samoa?
Yeah, you know what? At the time when we met Dave was actually our trainer. And so, we were trying to get fit, and we're still in our 20s or so, and or trying to stay fit, right? And our kids were really young. So we did have that in our mind that, we want to make this um like a good habit for them to have, right? Something where they know, like, oh yeah, this is something that we do all the time. And there was a year when I think Epi had made a goal to like hike 100 miles in that year, and our family was on what we call Aumavae hikes, and we would go out with our and hike all the beaches, all up and down this part of the coast here in Northern California. And so I think and I think Epi and the girls, they had exceeded that 100 miles of hiking. But I think, yeah, for sure, we did have it in mind, like, kids to see us, um, starting healthy habits and keeping it up, right? So that when they get to be adults themselves, then they'll already be in the habit of, monitoring their health and being conscious of that.
And we're excited for the turkey trot, and we love that you've been doing this for years, and that everything is going to Illuminati. You also have a side business, and so we'd like to hear a little bit about that, or a lot about that. Tell us the name of your business and why you started, and what inspired you to get started.
Yeah, so the name of my business is So Dope Samoa. I actually borrowed So Dope from PD because PD Toy Lolo is the homie, and I don't know what we were talking about, but he was like, "Oh yeah, that's so dope, this and that." And then that same summer, we started Fale Sui Sui at Le Malta, which was a series of sewing classes. And our wonderful instructor, Rona Polti, she had kind of like taught all of our folks some basic sewing skills, like how to sew a pillowcase, how to sew pajama pants, things like that, and how to sew an apron, and just things that, we kind of take for granted, like, oh yeah, we could just go to the store and buy that kind of stuff. But I think just developing these skills in a new generation, another generation of our folks was cool. And I had this, I don't know, probably you guys have the same problem, which is that I wouldn't call it a problem, but just, after you go to so many community events, you can end up with like a big stack of t-shirts. And I always feel bad about like tossing them out and not doing anything with them after I've worn them, or even especially like memorial shirts. Like I really don't want to toss away a memorial shirt. So I had an idea a while ago to like take those shirts, memorial shirts, community event shirts, cut them up and make a quilt. But then I think when I started with Fale Sui Sui, I was like, you know what, I could do something else with those shirts. Maybe I can turn them into tote bags. So yeah, the first couple of bags I made, they were all right. It was pretty cool, and then my daughter Pua, she sews. So she showed me how to make some scrunchies that match the tote bags. And then I was like, oh, I can make some wristlets to match the tote bags too. And then eventually it turned into making duffel bags. So I pretty much like been building up my skills and trying out new things. And I'm hoping to drop a backpack soon. So we'll see. But, I think I guess some people would say that they're like, one of our board members, she calls herself a serial entrepreneur. I would say I'm like a serial hobbyist. Like I'll pick up a hobby and I'll just like pick up another hobby and another hobby. So like, I'm pretty good with my hands. I'm crafty. I can paint. I can crochet. I can play the ukulele, and now I can sew. So yeah, I figured, I might as well, turn this into a little business. And I've sold at some of the night markets that we've had with Samoan Solutions, and people order some through the mail.
Is there a timeline for the backpacks? Duffel bags?
Yeah, the duffel bags, I've made a couple already. I'm working on some for my kids. And then I think I'll start the backpack. So hopefully December, I'll have a good backpack ready for y'all. But if you follow my Instagram page at So Dope Samoa, then you'll be able to see whenever it's ready when I drop it. Just because between Samoan Solutions and working my 9 to 5 and all my other hobbies, the sewing is kind of time consuming. So I don't really have like a for sure release date. It's kind of like whatever I can get done over Thanksgiving break is what I'm going to have in December.
That's awesome.
That's not a bad thing, because then people got to pay attention to when it's coming. So good for you.
And speaking of your 9 to 5, tell us a little bit about that and how you got started and why education.
Why education? I would say I had a lot of really good teachers growing up, and definitely when I went to Samoa and attended Leone High School, I had the best time there. And I think just having that experience of being at a school where you're not the minority, you're the majority, and just having teachers that know they have all that cultural background and context, so they don't have to like work so hard to get to know you or even understand you, right? So I think when I decided I was going to go into education, I was kind of thinking about, representation, especially out here in America and in the diaspora, where you don't usually see too many Samoan teachers. But also I wanted to have a career where I could be with my kids, raising my kids, and we all kind of have like similar schedules. So there was a time when I was working at the same school that Seipua was at. Before that, I was working in the same district as her brothers. So it's kind of like that work-home life balance. Education's always been a really good career for me in that sense. But in the last 5 years, I was lucky enough to get recruited by Ursula Anziatanga, who is over at San Francisco Unified School District with the Fasamoa Initiative. And, they have this residency program where you could be teaching and earning your credential at the same time. So I decided, why not get that done? And it just so happened that it was good timing for me with the distance learning thing happening and all that stuff. So yeah, special education is one of the areas that it's a hard to recruit type of job within the teaching field. So so it just so happened that Ursula was like, we need some teachers out here in San Francisco. And then one of my teaching credential program instructor, she also is Samoan and Chamorro. Her name is Carla Leon Guerrero. yeah, so it was just like, yeah, this is cool. I'm gonna stick with it, get my credential, and had the pleasure of teaching at SFUSD for 3 years, and then now I'm now in my third year teaching here at Pittsburgh Unified School District. So yeah, teaching's been really cool, and shout out to Ursula. She also recruited my sister Epi to go and be a teacher too in a different field, in CTE, which is Career Technical Education. So yeah, like Ursula's been the homie, for a long time now, and she's always looking out for our folks and making sure that when she hears about opportunities, she shares them with people, especially people that she knows that would be a good fit for the job.
Kind of ironic that we had talked about the community member who brought her car over to hotwire the clock was Ursula Ann, right? So just always there when we need her and pitching in when she thinks we can do better. So good for you for making that connection. And I love that. I love how the community reaches back, right? Somebody gets to some place and they're like, how can I help somebody get here too? And they don't just close the door and keep on moving in the room into the next door. They turn around and reach back and try to help somebody get there too. So shout out to Ursula Ann for that.
Huge shout out to Ursula Ann. Faga, is there anything else that we might have missed? I know that dinner is waiting for you and your family, and you've been working and all of that, and we don't want to hold you too long, but can you give us some last minute information or anything that you want to tell us about what's happening this weekend?
Yeah, so registration is still open for the 5K. On Saturday at Brisbane Marina, we will start check-in at 8 a.m. and we won't start the actual race until 9 a.m. So for that whole first hour, people will be checking in, getting their bibs, filling out their waivers and all that stuff. You can also visit with the different resource folks that we have there while you're waiting. And then around 8:45, 8:50, we'll have a stretch and a warm-up session. And our DJ this Saturday is DJ Joe King. So he'll be out there like bringing the good vibes for everybody. So yeah, that's pretty much how the morning will start out on Saturday. You can, if you missed the online registration, you can always walk up and register the day of. And we take cash, and we also have a Zelle, a Zephy, a PayPal. I think those are all the different ways that you can get us the funds for the Turkey Trot. And after Thanksgiving, the Tuesday after Thanksgiving, I think it's December 2nd, I want to say, is Giving Tuesday. So Samoan Solutions, we hope that when it gets to December 2nd, that you'll be considering us as one of the worthy organizations out there to receive your wonderful, generous gifts this year. We are still in the process of looking for our next Lemaota because on October, I want to say the 20th, we were officially out of 833 Mahler Road. So we are on a mission to be looking for a new spot, a new facility for our people. And yeah, so definitely any donations, if there's folks out there who have leads on grant funding or any other type of funding to help us, get a new space, we would love to hear from you. And just like always, anybody who has a little extra time or some creativity or is just curious about how to get involved in the community, we would love to have you become a member of Samoan Solutions. You do not have to live in San Mateo County. You can be from anywhere in the Bay Area, anywhere in the world. So yeah, some of our members are mobile, voluntold, work from home people in Albuquerque, formerly in Alaska. Shout out to Tia. But yeah, like you don't have to live here in the Bay Area, but if you do, then it's a plus because then you can participate in all the workshops, all the events we got coming up. And if you are in the medical or behavioral health, mental health field, we are the co-chair. Samoan Solutions, the co-chair for the PI initiative, and we still are having meetings once a month on the first Wednesday. So you can come out and hear about different resources that the county of San Mateo has in the behavioral health field. There's a lot of trainings that we're going to be trying to push out over the next 6 months, because when Prop 1 passed, I guess it's like transferring a lot of the funds away from prevention services, which means that these trainings will still be available, but after June of 2026, you might have to pay. So right now we're just trying to get in all of the prevention services that we can get in to our folks, while they're still affordable and accessible. So yeah, so PI Initiative once a month, and follow us on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok for all of the updates. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Please follow Samoan Solutions on all social media outlets. And we will see you on Saturday. Come on down to Brisbane and get a meal afterwards. Come fellowship and say hi to everyone there.
Always
Thank
a
you,
pleasure.
Fanga.
Thank you, guys.
There you go.
There you go. It's always a pleasure to rub shoulders with Samoan Solutions.
Yes. They're awesome. Please follow them on social media, all social media outlets. They have a bunch of programs, resources. They're always doing something.
Always doing something great.
Yes.
And looking for a new space. I'm sure.
Yes, they're looking for a new space. So we're going to go into our community announcements, and then we'll probably give you back your Thursday.
All righty.
Put my reading glasses on.
Okay. Let's see.
All right.
I will. All My Usos is hosting the monthly Talanoanga sessions on the first Thursday of each month. Who recognizes that while strength is honored, it's also okay to not be okay. Healing looks different for everyone, and at All My Usos, every emotion is valid in this judgment-free zone. These sessions are free, open to all ages, and include dinner. No commitment required, just your presence. Space is limited, so register today through the link in their bio, running now until... Does that go through June 4th?
June 4th. Awesome sauce. And like we were just talking about, the Samoan Solutions 15th annual 5K Turkey Trot for charity. Again, that's happening this Saturday, November 15th at Brisbane Marina. Is it 400 Sierra 8 Point Parkway? 8 a.m. till 1 p.m. And there's a registration fee. Reach out to them with any questions, and we will see you there.
We will be providing food, semi-healthy food. But if you get it there, it's fat-free, calorie-free, sodium-free, all the free things if you get it there, because it's a healthy event, allegedly. The Pacifica Holiday Gathering is Thursday, November 20th. So there's music, food, card games, and fun activities. The event is open to all students, faculty, and staff. That is the APIDA Center in Lassen. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
There you go. Widow Talk is happening Thursday, December 4th. Is sponsored by All My Usos. And it will be happening at 150 Executive Park Boulevard, Suite 3000 in San Francisco from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. For any questions, reach out or follow all my Usos on all social media outlets.
What a great program.
Great program.
All my Usos doing it along with Fatasi with the Mea Alofa holiday boxes. And this is December 13th. It's hosted by their Olanga community health workers. You can pick up the boxes at 150 Executive Park Boulevard in San Francisco, California. And then for more information, you can contact Leslie Leota at 415-718-1992.
Mm-hmm. And then Alaska is seeking female residents for paid focus group. This was on, I think, Pika, Alaska. Scan the QR code. It's a study aims to learn more about the awareness and use of the National Breast and Cervical Cancer Equity Program. Scan.
Alaska's got programming.
There you go.
And save the date. Fealofani, Saturday, May 2nd, 2026. Look at that. They're getting you
Save the date.
Ahead of time. Months ahead of time. And that means put it on your calendar, cross it off, because on Saturday, May 2nd, there's a going on. There's a cultural performance. So
Right.
put that on the calendar, and then we'll get out more details as we get there. But
There you go.
May 2nd, 2026. All right.
And then, okay, of course, we just talked about December 2nd. What is that? Giving Tuesday. We're asking you to give whatever you can or any donation for our 2025, 25 for 2025. Thank you to all the people that have donated. We appreciate your time, your donations, and it just goes through PBD's operations.
Wrapping that up.
Wrapping that up.
6-7
One more
weeks left
month.
in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to all that have donated.
All that I've donated. So thank you so much to our special guest, the guest, Faga with Samoan Solutions, and a shout out to her, Epi, and all the girls there that do amazing work. Thank you for joining us this Thursday. Any last words?
What's that?
Any last words from you?
No, I'm good.
I'm good too. I'm good too. Please come stop by Brisbane Marina this Saturday, November 15th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. We will be there. Come support. Come check out the free resources. There'll be vendors there so where you can buy items, listen to good music, and fellowship. And so we'll see you there Saturday. Come back to FICA with us.
Love y'all.